Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. It's the weekend folks, celebrate, party on. So considering August is pretty much a rough month for films, I am declaring an end of summer clearance sale here folks for the month of August. These are films that I've written down over the course of 8 months, and these are films that didn't get a wide release in theaters, didn't make much money, or found their way onto the internet. So first, in the summer clearance sale is a film called A Ghost Story. This is written and directed by David Lowery, who's coming off Pete's Dragon. And this is shot on a budget of $100 grand, and it's made over $1 million so far in 329 theaters. And this is a special aspect ratio of 1:33:1, so it's like a little bit of a box in with a little bit of the edges cut off. This was actually set in a home in Texas, set for demolition. And David Lowery thought to himself, okay, why don't we use this house? It's going to be demolished anyway. So a guy named C, played by Casey Affleck, is a musician that dies following a freak car accident while he's driving out of his driveway. Then after his wife, M, played by Rooney Mara, identifies him in the hospital, then of course C comes back as a ghost in a hospital bedsheet, which yes, I think we've all done that on occasion. And of course, C follows his wife home. C then watches M as she tries to move on with her life. There's one very interesting scene in which C watches M eating a pie, and it's like I don't know how long it is, but she basically stabs this pie as she tries to shovel it in her mouth. People have probably said that scene goes on too long. I really don't. I think it's just the right amount of length. Then of course M does try to move on with her life, and she leaves. Of course, considering that C is a ghost, time here really doesn't have any meaning, and there's a couple different points. He goes in one direction at one time, and then he moves to another place in the house, it's something totally other. We often wonder what it'd be like to actually be a ghost, and I guess we've all seen a whole bunch of films here in which, yes, the ghost is vengeful, or, he's happy, or he's Casper the Friendly Ghost. But here it's more boredom, basically. It's like there aren't any haunting scenes except for like one brief scene in which C is more bored than anything else because, hey, look, he needs something to do to pass the time. And again, there isn't a good amount of dialogue. It's just one character reacting to a certain set of situations. The most amount of dialogue that is spoken throughout the film is in the middle section of this film, in which there's a guy at a party, and he's played by William Oldham, who is basically a nihilist, but he basically says, don't try to preserve anything about yourself or your heritage or your legacy, because at the end of the day, because everything dies, and basically humanity is going to go extinct eventually, and it's all going to be for naught. All the while, C is trying to recover a message that M left for her in the side of a wall. He also happens to meet a second ghost who is in another house, and that ghost is waiting for someone to return. But that ghost can't remember who that one person is. And I think this might be the most original idea I've seen this year. Some people might be bored by it. I found myself really into this film. I think I did not care for Manchester by the Sea, but I think Casey Affleck does a better job in this because half the time he's covered in a blanket, and I think they had to make the blanket even thicker, and they put some extra layers on this blanket because it didn't fully cover Casey Affleck to begin with. Then of course there's the development late in the film in which some of you might be going, what? This is actually happening? But you kind of have to realize that what is time to a ghost, So there you go. So in the end, folks, A Ghost Story is one of those films that, again, it's not playing a whole bunch of theaters, because if you're tired of all the mainstream garbage that's being thrown at you, seek this film out. A lot of people often complain, oh, there's no originality in Hollywood. Well, here's an original idea that, quite frankly, won't make a whole bunch of money, or it's going to be in a handful of art house theaters or independent run theaters. So I'm going to say here, folks, A Ghost Story, in the end, for me, is super awesome. I highly suggest, again, as I keep repeating myself, seek this film out. So, folks, in the end, what did you think of A Ghost Story? Did you happen to like this film? Did you happen to care for it at all? Please put everything in the comment box below. As always, folks, like, comment, and subscribe. Enrich yourself with knowledge. If you want to see this handsome face again, please press the subscribe button below. And I'll see you next time, folks. Yay.